Welcome back to Parent Squad. College can be one of the biggest investments parents make for their children, so it pays to plan ahead. And do you know your options? Well, we're going to help you. I'm joined today by Merrill Market Executive Jose Fourquet, who is here to help. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Felicia.
Yes. So we're approaching an important day. Let's talk about National 529 Day on May 29th. First, what is a 529 plan? Why is it so important?
So a 529 plan is a tax advantage vehicle that was created by Congress in 1996, to help families save for educational expenses for families.
And how does it work when you're putting money in, and how does it help you save?
So you take dollars that already paid taxes, you put them in there as early as you can, and then when the child goes to school, it could be a traditional four-year college, it could be a vocational school. You can use it for tuition, room and board, books, computers, as long as they are in a qualified expense category.
Okay, it has to be a qualified expense category because there's some misconceptions about how this money can be used. And I assume you mentioned vocational schools, universities.
Even K through 12.
Oh, really?
A small portion can be used every year for K through 12 schools.
Okay, that was something else that I did not know, hadn't heard about. So what if you don't end up using the 529 for college? Let's say your child, goes rogue, they decide not to go. Then what happens to the funds?
So there's a lot of flexibility. You can change the beneficiary and use it for another child, a nephew, even your grandkids. And you can use it for yourself. You can make yourself the beneficiary as a parent and go to school and use the money. In the worst case, you can roll over a portion into a Roth IRA or take the money out later, and you don't pay taxes on the money that you put in, but any growth is taxable and you would have to pay a tax penalty.
Okay, so there are some options. Of course, taxes are still involved depending on what you end up doing. But there are some options, so you're not 100% locked in, which is good, because a lot of people are like, well, what if they don't go to college? Another important note, does a 529 disqualify families from financial aid?
Absolutely not. Only a small portion of the balance in a 529 account that's not in the student's name. That's the key part. It has to be in an adult's name, for example. Only about 6% is imputed against the family for financial needs purposes. But no, they absolutely do not disqualify the child from receiving financial aid.
Okay, so let's walk families through this because I have a 2-year-old and my husband set this up for us. But you end up having a child. Can you do it before the child is born if you're expecting, or it has to be?
It has to be after the kid is born,
okay.
Very early. Mm-hmm. I would encourage monthly recurring payments. As early as you can. They can be very small, but with the benefit of
appreciation.
It's
compound interest.
Compounding, yes. With the benefit of compounding, the amount can be very large.
Yes. And that's one thing I think a lot of parents, they just feel so overwhelmed, particularly in those early years. Everything's expensive when you're taking care of a baby. But I feel like people overwhelm themselves and have to remember that even $50, $100, when you're talking about compounding interest, any little bit helps, and any jump start that you can get on things is a good start.
Yeah, you can invest it in the markets. And there's a lot of flexibility later on to use the money. So I would say don't worry about what could happen. Just start, and then hopefully you'll be able to use this on your child or somebody else in the family that may need it.
Yes, absolutely. And then let's also talk about a 529 plan versus a student loan. I guess both have pros and cons, and the amounts obviously look different.
So basically the 529 is a savings vehicle that is in place before the child needs it for school, assuming it's for one of your children. And if you play your cards right, they may pay for school and walk away without debt. A loan is a loan in the name of the student that gets taken out after the kid graduates from college or vocational school. And you will pay a lot more than the principal that was needed to pay for tuition. And it's in their name, so they're going to have a monthly payment to make when they're starting in the workforce, which could be a little bit difficult for young workers.
Yes. And you have some young folks that you have ushered through this process, and they're on the other side. Any other tips that you want to give to those parents who might be starting out on this journey? Or, maybe you're starting late. It's better to start late than never.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
if you start late and you have disposable cash flow, you can put up to 5 years of the maximum in one lump sum, even if it's late. That could be 190,000 for a couple.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of opportunity to put money in, even if it's late. I would say if grandparents have the means, you can encourage the grandparents to also open a 529 in their name for the benefit of your children. And I would say if the kid is capable of taking AP classes or going to a community college dual enrollment, that will reduce the tuition bill that they would have to pay if they go to a traditional college.
And do you recommend having these conversations with your young adults? Those summer jobs should be to have a little fun, but also maybe they can be helping pour into their 529 plan.
Absolutely. Financial discipline, financial education as early as you can start with your kids so they can also have skin in the game, as you pointed out. It would be a blessing for a family if the kid is aware of the future need and they themselves are participating with the parents and pre-funding the need.
Yes, I think a lot of parents, they want to just be able to be their child's superhero, Superman, and so they don't want to bring them in on those conversations and the goal of saving for college and saving for their education, which is a parent's responsibility, but it's okay to bring your children
Absolutely.
into that conversation.
And even if you want them to have loans in their name so they can also, take school seriously and also learn financial discipline when they're in the workforce, if you feel your child can handle that, which we did in our case, so they would learn financial discipline at an early age, that could also be a factor.
Absolutely. Okay, important conversations to have. Of course, there are experts that you need to be in tune with. We have much more info on National 529 Day at WTHR.com/Parent Squad. Keep building, keep seeking out information, and we're going to help you and hold your hand along the way as well. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Felicia.
Stay with us.